Oh boy. Yuki Tsunoda's Red Bull debut? Let's just say it didn't exactly light the world on fire. More like a damp sparkler that fizzled before takeoff. From the get-go, this was supposed to be his big, main character moment. Driving a Red Bull car, in front of his home crowd at Suzuka, with the samurai spirit and cherry blossoms raining glory on him. But nope. Instead of slicing through the field like a katana, Yuki spent most of the race stuck in the midfield mess, barely clawing his way up a couple of spots and finishing miles away from the points. It was supposed to be a dream, and it turned into one of those nightmares where you're running in slow motion while everyone else zooms past. And yeah, the track is tight, twisty, and about as easy to overtake on as a Tokyo subway at rush hour. But let's not kid ourselves. He and his engineers played it way too safe with the setup. Instead of going full samurai, they came in with the energy of a librarian. The car was packed with downforce, apparently, to help him feel more confident. But in the end, all it did was glue him to a mid-pack no-man's land. The worst part? Max Verstappen, shocker, is still the only guy scoring points for Red Bull after several races. Yuki's RB21 twin? Nada. Zilch. Zip. Which makes the team's decision to give him this seat early, before Liam Lawson had a real shot, look a bit dicey. Remember, Yuki was supposed to bring more value to the team. More data. More speed. More oomph. But instead, what we've got is an F1 veteran looking like a deer in headlights, trying not to crash while everyone's expecting fireworks. To be fair, Yuki didn't pretend it was all sunshine and sakura. After the race, he sounded like a guy who just watched his favorite anime get cancelled. Yeah, I was happy with how I drove, but the result? Brutal. This was my home GP. I wanted to at least scrape into the points. Anything less just feels crap. You could hear the heartbreak behind the diplomatic words. And then came the kicker. He revealed the car was actually set up in case it rained. Only it didn't. Not a single damn drop. So they basically built a boat for a desert race. Genius. You'd think in Formula 1 they'd check the weather app before finalizing the setup, but apparently someone was relying on vibes instead of meteorology. So now, the pressure is dialed up to 11. Bahrain's next, and Red Bull will expect him to stop playing it safe and start putting that damn car where it belongs, in the points. Because if he doesn't, we all know what happens next. The rumor mill starts spinning, reserve drivers start polishing their helmets, and Yuki gets handed a "thank you for your service" handshake quicker than you can say "domo arigato." One thing's for sure, he better wake the hell up, or this Red Bull fairy tale is going to turn into a horror story real fast. Oh man, Yuki didn't hold back when he talked about how things went down in Suzuka. Basically, he knew from the jump that overtaking was going to be a total pain in the ass. He was kinda hoping for chaos, like full-on tire apocalypse, so he could sneak up the order. But nah, the tire degradation was non-existent. Like zero. Nada. So yeah, the stars didn't exactly align for him. More like they told him to go screw himself. But hey, glass-half-full Tsunoda still found a silver lining. Despite being stuck in no man's land, he racked up a whole bunch of laps, over 50 of them, and he used every damn one to figure out what the hell this RB21 machine actually wants from him. So now he's fired up and ready for the next round. Bring on Bahrain, baby. Meanwhile, on the happier side of the garage, Fabian, that's Verstappen obviously, was fending off two papaya-colored missiles from McLaren and still bagged the win like it was a casual Sunday cruise. That just shows how much of a beast this car can be, if you're squeezing every last drop of performance out of it. Yuki, not quite there yet. Not even close, actually. To be fair, nobody was expecting a Dream 1-2 with Yuki chasing Max to the podium. But some points would have been nice, right? Especially since the dude was dreaming of a top 3 finish and basically begged people to pile on the pressure like he feeds off the stress or something. Unfortunately, instead of making headlines, he ended up playing the role of guy in the background. And let's be real here, the dude could have already had a chunk of points under his belt if Racing Bulls hadn't fumbled their strategy in the first few races. But that ship has sailed, sunk, and been eaten by sharks. Still, Tsunoda's not walking away empty-handed. He got his hands dirty with the RB21, finally logged some proper race mileage, and started building up that sweet, sweet confidence. According to him, this was the first time he actually felt the car under him. Lap after lap, he was figuring stuff out. No more simulator-only BS. And for once, he felt like he belonged in that beast. And yeah, he admitted that when he saw Lawson get the call-up before him, he kind of threw in the towel emotionally. Figured the Red Bull dream was done and dusted. So when the team tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Suit up," he was genuinely hyped and a bit surprised. Like, holy crap, I'm actually doing this. Now, Christian Horner's been trying to sprinkle a little optimism on the situation. Despite the whirlwind of chaos that is Red Bull's driver drama, the guy actually seems to have Yuki's back. He gets that the pressure's been ridiculous and that Yuki was tossed into the deep end without a damn life vest. But even so, Horner's been pretty damn impressed. According to the Red Bull boss, Yuki's look mature. Yeah, mature, believe it or not. And even though he's new to the car, he's been catching up fast, giving solid feedback, and showing the kind of pace you want to see in someone you're trusting with your multi-million-dollar rocket ship. And let's not forget, while Lawson couldn't even sniff Q2 in 3 tries, Yuki managed to drag that car into Q2 with barely any time behind the wheel. Not bad for a guy who was practically written off a month ago. So yeah, it ain't been smooth sailing for Tsunoda. But the fire's still there, the team's still watching, and the real test begins now. If he can dial it in, fight like hell, and not let the pressure chew him up, this story might just turn around. If not, well, F1's got a long line of hungry wolves ready to jump into that seat the second he stumbles. So, here's the spicy truth. The big question floating in the Red Bull paddock is whether Yuki's got the balls, and the finesse, to tame a setup that's less stable and safe, and more hold on for dear life. The kind of setup that trades comfort for raw, unfiltered, bats hit speed. And guess what? According to the man himself, he's all in for it. No more baby steps. He told the engineers in no uncertain terms to stop holding his hand and give him the damn beast already. He's ready to go full throttle, once the time is right, of course. And honestly, Red Bull's not blind. They know that if it weren't for Max freaking Verstappen carrying the team like Atlas on a caffeine high, they'd be nowhere near the front. Forget top 4, they'd be battling it out with midfielders trying not to cry. That's precisely why they're giving Yuki a slightly cushier onboarding than they did with poor Liam Lawson, who, let's be honest, barely got a sniff of the car before they threw him into the lion's den. Now, every time Yuki has a mare race, and yeah, we've had a couple, people start looking around like, hey, what are the juniors doing? And sure, Lawson's recent showings were about as exciting as watching paint dry, but then you've got Hajar swooping in like a damn superhero and finishing 8th, dropping 4 fat points on the table. That's 4 more than Yuki's got this season. Brutal. To make things juicier, they straight up asked Isaac Hajar if he'd be down for a Red Bull seat, and the guy basically said, hell yeah, I'd pick up that call faster than a drunk ex at 2 a.m. But he was also chill about it, saying it's up to the big bosses, and that right now he's just vibing and doing his thing. Classy. Still, he did admit Liam's got more experience, having already been in the hot seat last year. But hey, he started this season with the team, so let's call it even Stevens. Now, rumor has it that Helmut Marko wants to let Yuki see out the season without any shock replacements, especially as we edge toward the summer break. So, no crazy headlines. For now. But there's a ticking clock. Red Bull's got a handful of races left to slap some much-needed upgrades on that car. If they don't deliver those upgrades pronto, they can kiss their title hopes goodbye. That's not drama, that's just straight-up math. So the real question is this. Did Yuki fuck it up in front of his home fans? Maybe. But does he have what it takes to claw his way back and start actually performing like a Red Bull driver instead of just wearing the damn overalls? That's the million-dollar question. Drop your hot takes in the comments below. And once you've done that, smash that next video that just popped up. Trust us, you're gonna want to see it.